What's up, guys? It's once again MP4podcast.com, and I just read a really interesting article. Now, people have been talking about this for a little bit, over the last couple of months, but now it's really being reported that if a used game gets sold at GameStop or Best Buy or wherever, that the third-party developer, such as Activision, Ubisoft, EA, Capcom, you name it, will get a cut of that sale when these retailers sell these used games. Now, people have talked about this before, even before like people started talking about next generation consoles and so on, that GameStop should have done something to give a kickback to these developers. Let's say you buy Modern Warfare or Gears of War, whatever. You trade it into GameStop. Maybe you get $10 for it or whatever, and then they're going to sell it for $20. Maybe they should kick $2 over to Epic Studios, kick $2 over to Capcom, whatever the case may be. But, just it would be a good thing that if GameStop did that back then, these other retailers, then this DRM probably would not be, being implemented the way it is now. Right now, this DRM that's in the Xbox One is going to be a pain in the ass. Your Xbox One is going to have to be online once a day, okay? So maybe if you move to a new apartment, or maybe you're a college student and you take your Xbox One to your dorm room, you don't have your internet set up, your Xbox One might have some issues. I don't know. Maybe they're going to give you a little leeway, and maybe you could have to go on the website and say, hey, I'm going to college. I won't have internet for 2 or 3 weeks. Can you please let my Xbox One work? Maybe you're going to have to report to Microsoft what you're doing. I don't know. I'm just having ideas floating in my head. But, the Wii U just had a jump in sales over at Amazon, the UK Amazon site. A lot of people don't want this tied in DRM, and they want the freedom to buy their games, sell their games, and so on. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm going PlayStation 4. And that's not really the answer either. It's better than what Xbox One is offering. But if you remember the Sony conference, what Sony actually said, I think it was a reporter that asked somebody at Sony, it goes, what's going on with used games and so on? And Sony said they will not block used games made by Sony Studios. So if you buy God of War, you can trade it in at GameStop, Best Buy, whatever. You can buy a used game off of eBay. You can buy a used game off of any place in the world. As long as it's region code or NTSC or PAL, it will work. All right. But if EA wants to block the next Battlefield 4 or Activision wants to block Call of Duty Ghost, they can do it on their end. So, the PS4 isn't the complete answer to saying no to Xbox One. It seems to be the answer to saying no to Xbox One and also kind of the PS4, even though the PS4 is not as bad as the Xbox One, is to buy a Nintendo Wii U. Now, if I was, the CEO of Japan, I would actually capitalize on this right now. I would actually go to all the big retailers, to their CEOs, like the CEO of GameStop, Best Buy, and I would sit down with them and I would say, listen, we know you guys don't like what's going on with the used game market because you guys make a profit. We get that, okay? But we're also having a hard time moving our system and so on. How about we cut a deal, right? We'll even put it in contract or whatever. Non-disclosure. You can't talk about it. We won't talk about it. The consumer would never talk about it. I'm just saying if I was Nintendo, right? I would say, listen, push the Wii U as much as you can, saying that this is a console where you can trade in games and blah blah blah, and we're gonna put as much money as we can, in advertising and so on, letting the consumers know and so on about used games and And Nintendo does have some really quality titles coming up for the Wii U. It's just a matter of time waiting for them. However, the Wii U's problem is that the Wii U has old hardware. So having old hardware that competes with Xbox 360 and the PS3, maybe the Wii U is a little bit more powerful in certain regards and so on, and it does seem to have a little bit of a bottleneck with the RAM, but it does have double the RAM, so maybe it evens off. I don't know. I'm not really a programmer. I don't have a development kit, so don't sue me. But I would make a deal with them to say, listen, to GameStop and Best Buy, I would say, listen to me really carefully. If you guys help promote us as much as you can, we'll come out with a brand new console within 4 years or 3 years, because it's about half a year, 6 months or whatever, with the Wii U. So 3.5 years from now, we will come out with a brand new, true next generation video game console, which will blow the Xbox One out of the water, which will blow the PS4 out of the water. And get this, use games, trade them in, sell them. There's no checking, no DRM on that with servers or any of that. And Nintendo brings out a console like that, it will destroy the Xbox One and the PS4 if it doesn't have that DRM. Now, I understand DRM, so you can't copy the disc and make a burned copy. I'm not talking about that type of DRM. I'm talking about the freedom to do what you want with your content that you buy. Now, I get it that if you buy Super Mario or Zelda or Battlefield or Killzone or Gears of War, you do not own the content, the intellectual property of that IP. But the game, on the disc, you own that. You bought it, you can play it, you can give it out to somebody, let them play it, you can sell it, whatever you want to do with that disc. You own that, all right? So I get it that you don't own the IP. But if Nintendo brings out a next generation console within 3.5 years and lets you have the freedom that you do right now with the Nintendo Wii, the Wii U, the Xbox 360, and the PS3, it's game over. So this is going to be a very tricky road. Now, I understand, people want to buy the PS4. I kind of want a PS4 myself, because I'm hoping that some companies are not going to block used games, your third parties. So we're really going to have to see what goes on. And I really hope that people do not support companies that are going to block used games the way they are. So maybe there's some more stuff that we don't know about Sony. It's a little bit, this way and this way, but we definitely know where Microsoft's going. And I definitely recommend that you not buy the Xbox One under these madness that they're, whatever's going through their head. Now, I can kind of understand why somebody would maybe even want an Xbox One. Now I'm going to play a little bit devil's advocate, okay? Just hear me out. You want to buy an Xbox One, maybe you don't like going to the store, picking up a physical copy. Maybe you don't even want to order it from Amazon or BestBuy.com or whatever the online store is, and wait for your physical copy to be shipped. Maybe you want your Xbox One to be like your iPad, your Android device, where everything is just downloaded onto the hard drive. You play it, when you download. So if I want to play, for instance, Injustice on my Xbox One, let's say Injustice 2, I just go on my Xbox and purchase it. That's it. Download it. I'm okay with that because, I know I'm downloading downloading the game onto the hard drive, and there's really no way you could, sell it really, unless maybe you sold your Xbox Live account or something like that, and let that person take over your account. I get that, like I have an iPad and Android. I download games. I can't trade in those games from my iPad. If I buy it, I buy it. It's tied to my iTunes account or my Android account. Google account. or my BlackBerry account, or you know, my Nook account, my Amazon Kindle account, whatever, my PSN account, whatever. So you get my point. I can get somebody buying the Xbox One like that, or a Nintendo Wii with the 32 gigabyte, where they just want to download the games to their account. They don't want to deal with going to stores and download. I mean, getting physical copies. Either going to the store, waiting in line, dealing with the registers, and they don't want to, wait for physical copies to be shipped to their store by UPS. I get that. Sometimes it sucks, even though Amazon does have good service where, you don't pay tax. I mean, a lot of people try to avoid that because they're trying to save as much money as they can. But, sometimes UPS, sometimes the service is a little bit hit or miss depending on your driver or so on. And I'm not putting down UPS. I mean, it's the same probably with all the different delivery services. I mean, I hear stories about UPS drivers throwing boxes on people's houses, porches and so on. Then, there's other UPS drivers that will knock on your door, give you your package, and they're really nice guys. So, I mean, it's just like any other place. You go to any job, you're going to run into nice people and people that are jerks. So basically like that. So, if people want to avoid all this hassle and stuff like that, I get why they would want to buy an Xbox One or, a PS3 now that you can download full versions of games, but they're still full price. So I would still prefer to buy a physical copy. But once again, guys, this has been mp4podcast.com signing out. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. Take care, guys, and let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. Later, guys. Bye.